Hello everyone and welcome to the Daily Prelims Practice, an initiative of RAU'S IAS where we take up important prelims related topics and MCQs from the Hindu newspaper and the Indian Express. Articles taken for today's discussion are listed on your screen and the time stamping along with the notes in PDF and Word format are given in the description box. So let us begin with the first question for the day.
This article of the Hindu newspaper talks about an important bamboo fruit, and according to the recent research, during its gracious flowering, the bamboo plant produces large fruits which draw animal and vectors or even predators towards itself. Of these, black rats greatly relish the fleshy, berry-like fruit. So there's a special species of black rats that feed upon this particular bamboo flower. During this period, that rat species try to multiply, and this phenomena is known as rat flood. Once the fruits are gone, the excessive population of rat try to eat up the standing crop, and overeating and removal of food crops from the farms lead to the famines in majority of northeastern state. Now, with this discussion, let us discuss the question following. In 2019, UPSC has already asked a question based on bamboo, in which they have asked about the concept of Indian Forest Act with relation to bamboo, Scheduled Tribe and other Forest Dwellers Act with relation to bamboo, and related to the minor forest produce. So based on the same, we have framed a question in context to the bamboo plant. So the question is, with reference to the Melochna bassifera, consider the following statement. Now this is one of the species of bamboo. It is the largest fruit producing bamboo and it is native to India only. This statement would be incorrect. Although it is a tropical bamboo species, also known by the term muli. It is found in India as well as in the regions bordering India lying in the nation of Myanmar. So from that perspective, the first statement is incorrect. The second one is a particular name known as motham. So motham is a cyclical mass bamboo flowering on which the black rats survives and multiply. So this flower occurs once in a 48 years. This statement is correct. Such kind of unique examples are important to be remembered for the UPSC prelim examination. So from the discussion, we conclude that the correct answer of this question would be option B. The answer to UPSC's question was option B. That is 2 and 3 are correct. This article of the Hindu newspaper appeared as a part of editorial. And in this, the writer has talked about how governor is under the constitution and his discretionary powers are not above it. So based on the same, in 2013, UPSC has framed a question in which they have asked about the role of the governor and their appointment. So based on the same, we have created this question on the discretionary power of the governor. So in which of the following instances the governor can exercise his discretionary powers even without the aid and advice of Council of Ministers? Now, governor, like the President of India, should work on the aid and advice of their respective executive administration, in which Council of Ministers are there. So, the first statement is reservation of bill for consideration of the President, recommendation for the imposition of President rule in the state under Article 356. Third is promulgating ordinances, and the fourth one is dissolution of state legislative assembly if the Council of the Minister has lost its majority. Now from the above discussion, the answer to this question would be option C. So the statement number 3 is incorrect because ordinance making power of governor is not discretionary. He can promulgate or withdraw an ordinance only on the advice of Council of Ministers, which is headed by the Chief Minister. So after eliminating 3, we come to the conclusion that the answer to the question should be option C. The answer to the question of UPSC was option C, that is, no procedure has been laid down in the Constitution of India for the removal of governor from his or her post. This article of the Hindu newspaper appeared on the business page and talks about an important international organization known by the term Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, on which UPSC has already asked a question in 2019 and might repeat the same in the future as well. So in 2019, UPSC has asked a question with respect to the AIIB, in which they say that AIIB has more than 80 members, India is the largest shareholder, and AIIB does not have any member from outside Asia. The answer to this question was option A, because it might have members outside Asia, and India is not the largest, it is the second largest shareholder. So out of this, the answer was option A. For today, we have framed this question with reference to the Asian Infrastructure Development Bank. Consider the following statement. The membership of AIIB is open only to the members of World Bank and IMF. This statement would be incorrect. Because if it is open to the member of World Bank and IMF, it is open to the entire world, which is not the case. So it is open to International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, which is part of World Bank. And apart from this, it is also available for Asian Development Bank members. The second statement is, unlike the World Bank, all members countries in AIIB enjoy equal voting rights. This statement is also incorrect because the voting rights in AIIB depends upon the share capital provided by each country. So more share capital they are providing, more voting rights they will get. So based on the discussion, the answer to this question would be option D, that is neither of the 1 and 2 are correct. This question is based on an advertisement which was published on the first page of Indian Express, which talks about the Reserve Bank's integrated Ombudsman scheme. Now, UPSC has been asking questions with respect to the schemes launched by Reserve Bank of India. So, in previous year question, where they talked about the scheme for sustainable structuring of stressed asset. Now, this scheme was launched by Reserve Bank of India. Hence, answer to this question was, it is a scheme of RBI for reworking the financial structures of big corporate entities facing genuine difficulties. So this was a scheme which was launched in order to reduce down the stressed asset because Indian banking system was in trouble. So today's question is, with reference to the integrated ombudsman scheme of RBI, consider the following statement. The first one is, it covers all financial complaints generated in the money market. So this would be incorrect. Yes, it takes the complaints from the money market, for example, from the banking sector. It takes examples from the NBFCs, but it does not cover all the complaints. Most of the components of money market are outside its ambit. So this statement would be incorrect. The second is, it covers primary cooperative banks as well. This is correct. This is the one section of banking system which is very primary in nature. They are very localized in nature. However, the complaints against these banks could be taken up by the integrated ombudsman scheme. The last one is, the appellate body under the scheme is the Deputy Governor of RBI. No, this would be incorrect because the RBI Deputy Governor does not have that much of executive functioning. He or she is more responsible towards the policy making at the top management. So based on the same, the answer to this question would be option B. The appellate body under this scheme would be the executive director, who is in charge to the Consumer Education and Protection Department. Today, the nation is celebrating the birth anniversary of ex-Prime Minister of India, Indira Gandhi. In 2019, UPSC has asked a question where they have said that 9th schedule was introduced in the Indian Constitution during the Prime Ministership of whom? The answer to this question was A, Jawaharlal Nehru, because this schedule was introduced in 1951 with first Constitutional Amendment Act. So based on the same, we have framed a question with reference to the constitutional development during the phase of Prime Ministership of Indira Gandhi. Now you have to identify whether these events took place during her era or not, or whether these statements are correct or not. So the first is national emergency based on the internal disturbance. Please understand this. Previously there were two criteria, external and the internal. So national emergency based on internal disturbance was imposed for the first time in India as per Article 352. This statement is absolutely correct. But you should remember that national emergency has been imposed in India 3 times. First, during 1962 war, that is Indochina War. The second one was during 1971 between India-Pakistan War, and then came the 1975 at a national emergency based on the internal factors. The first two were on the external factor, that is war and external aggression. The second statement is 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976 is the largest constitutional change ever made in India. This statement is absolutely correct because of the reason that it was the most comprehensive amendment made so far in the constitution, and that is the reason it is sometimes even referred as mini constitution itself, because it worked on the recommendation given by the Swaran Singh committee. The third statement is the fundamental duties were included in the constitution. This statement is also correct because as per the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976, part 4A was included in the Indian constitution, which became a part of fundamental duties to be followed by the Indian citizens. So based on the discussion, the answer to this question would be option D. Now today, Prime Minister is going to inaugurate Doni Polo Airport situated in Itanagar, that is capital city of Arunachal Pradesh, and also dedicate a calming hydropower station to the nation. So based on the same, we have created a question which is being asked from the state of Arunachal Pradesh. Previously, UPSC has asked a question from Arunachal Pradesh and it was based on the rivers flowing from the state. The answer to this question was option B, that is 2 and 3 were the rivers which were flowing from the state. Barak, although is situated in the northeastern states, but not part of Arunachal Pradesh. On the same, we have created a question on the important mountain passes and their specific location in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. Now please understand that all these three passes are situated in Arunachal Pradesh, but whether they are connecting the specific places given in the option or not should be your criteria for identifying the right one. So first is Dihang Pass, second is Deepu Pass, and the third one is Bomdila Pass. The correct answer to this question is only A, because Deepu Pass does not connect Arunachal Pradesh with Bhutan. Deepu Pass is a mountain pass around the areas of a disputed tri-junction of India, China and Myanmar, and not Bhutan. The third one is Bomdila. It is not on the India, China and Myanmar. It is connecting Arunachal Pradesh with Lhasa. That is the capital city of Tibet, and it is located in the east of Bhutan. So from that discussion, we know that it is option A. As you can see on the screen, this is your Bomdila. This is your Deepu Pass and this is your Dihang Pass. You can pause right now and you can also go through the other passes from the state of Arunachal Pradesh. Now this is your Doni Polo Airport, which is going to be inaugurated in the capital city of Arunachal Pradesh, that is Itanagar. It is situated on the southern part of the Arunachal Pradesh border. The second is the Kameng hydroelectric power, which is going to be situated on the Kameng River, which is on the western side of the state of Arunachal Pradesh and joins from the northern part to the Brahmaputra river. As far as Doni Polo is concerned, so this term is nothing but a designation which is given to the indigenous religious beliefs to the tribal people of Arunachal Pradesh. Doni Polo simply means sun and moon, and it is chosen as a religion in the process of the revitalization and the institutionalization. And because of that religious belief, it is also known as Doni Poloism. Now, the last question for today's discussion is based on a financial inclusive index published in India. In the previous year also, that is in 2020, UPSC has already asked a question based on different indices. And for that matter, index and its importance remains very high in the prelim examination. So today's question is based on the India's Financial Inclusion Index. The first statement is, it is being published biannually by Reserve Bank of India. So this statement would be incorrect because it is not published biannually. The second is Financial Inclusive Index constructed based on the three important dimensions of the financial inclusion, that is whether financial services are accessible, whether they are usable and whether they have a quality or not. This is an absolutely correct statement. Third one is, recently the base year of this index has been changed from 2012 to 2016. This statement would be incorrect because there is no base year which is used for the collection and the indexation under this index. It is based on the cumulative data collection over the many years towards financial inclusion. So based on the discussion, the answer to the question would be option A. On the other hand, the answer to the PYQ asked by UPSC in 2020 would be option A, that is first and second statement is correct, because RBI is not using WPI, it is using CPI for the key measure of inflation. That's all for today's daily prelims practice. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more such updates.